Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast on Strangeness. Today, we're going to continue where we left off. We were getting into topics concerning Casey and or Edgar Casey, and then we went from there into Jack Parsons. um, with me right now, I have Karma Love. Karma, you want to say hi?
Hi everyone.
And glad to have you here, Karma.
Thank
Last,
you.
last time we were getting into that, and here today, Pecos was talking about Burning Man, so we might be able to do all that, and if it gets to where Pecos or anybody wants to come in and talk about that, then we can go there, But I really like what we were getting into with Aleister Crowley and Jack Parsons, and even with the stuff with Edgar Casey. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there as well. Like, there's we're going in a good direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do oh, do you have anything like any documentaries or anything like little short bits on either one of them? I feel like that would be
Well,
good.
when it comes to like documentaries and stuff, I don't really like doing the videos or audios because of copyright infringement.
Oh yeah, I forgot you. I remember you telling me that now. Yeah.
So so like everything I do is usually my own content. Like even the music that you hear in the background, stuff like that. That's my stuff. You know what I
You make
mean?
music too?
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
so neat. Do you
don't.
sing?
Oh no, I don't sing.
But you just do the beats. That's still cool.
If I can
Nice.
find somebody who's willing to sing for me, then I'll put that stuff on here. I mean, just to put that out there. I ain't got no problem with it, but I just,
I would hate to torture your ears.
I mean, I'm serious. I have no problem with that, but the thing is, man, I just, like I said the other day on a previous stream, it's a big scam in the copyright thing, so I try to stay away from it.
Like triple, quadruple taxation. Yeah, no, I understand. Because it's like, would you not like your music to get played? And you already getting paid from it being streamed on YouTube. So as long as you're streaming it on YouTube, these people technically are supposed to get paid. But it's like a hope. No, we want it streamed only on our channel. Only look at us. You can't use our stuff to get it drawn to yours without paying us again, even though we're getting paid because of it being played. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
And then
pretty.
everyone thinks you're dumb and don't know that that's what's going on.
It's just crazy. Yeah, they want to play around and screw people over on that stuff.
Right, when music is entertainment. Like, it's, are you not entertained? Definitely not. I can hardly even listen to it when I need it. I get it.
Yeah, I gotta figure out where I just had that. Here we go.
Do you think you should remind Pecos? Oh wow, look at this picture.
He's probably caught up in that. We were talking about Anonymous and Reddit, and the guy
Hmm.
that started Reddit and everything, and how he ended up getting in trouble with the law and stuff.
A lot of these people nowadays are getting in trouble, like especially if they did, you know what I mean, like between the crypto people getting in trouble or coming up dead. It's like a lot of real schemy type stuff going on in the world, like big CEOs. Oh, I'm no longer going to be the head of this company that I founded and headed for 20, 30 years, which I learned with some of the legal stuff that I've been watching. If you turn your company over to someone else, any trouble that you had following you kind of disappears. So they have to restart the case over again and no longer able to investigate you in the same manner. And it's wild because when you listen to all these people, I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's just
It's fine.
just go ahead because I was just saying, like, it's insane though because it's the
It
if you look
fires
at that
people
not
up. It really does. It fires people up. I
yeah,
mean,
when you think about what's going on in this world.
yeah, it's messed up. So I pulled up something here about Edgar Casey.
That
And
is such a cool picture.
yeah. So it is coming through, right?
Yeah, I see it. Wow, it looks like a constellation.
All right. Let me make sure. Oh, it keeps blacking out every time I come in there.
Wait, you mean it's not supposed to look black? It looks so dope black.
Oh yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here's the article I've got from edgarcasey.org, and it's the 20th century psychic and medical clairvoyant. Edgar Casey has been called the sleeping prophet, the father of holistic medicine, and the most documented psychic of the 20th century. For more than 40 years of his adult life, Casey gave psychic readings to thousands of seekers while in an unconscious state, diagnosing illnesses and revealing lives past in the past and prophecies yet to come. But who exactly was Edgar Casey? Casey was born on a farm in Hopkinsville, Kentucky in 1877, and his psychic abilities began to appear as early as his childhood. He was able to see and talk to his late grandfather's spirit and often played with imaginary friends, whom he said were spirits of the other side. He also displayed an uncanny ability to memorize the pages of a book simply by sleeping on it. These gifts labeled the young Casey a strange, but all Casey really wait a minute. These gifts labeled the young Casey as strange, but all Casey really wanted was to help others, especially children. Later in life, Casey would find that he had the ability to put himself into a sleep-like state by lying down on a couch, closing his eyes, and folding his hands over his stomach. In this state of relaxation and meditation, he was able to place his mind in contact with all time and space, the universal consciousness, also known as the superconscious mind. From there, he could respond to questions as broad as what are the secrets of the universe and what is my purpose in life, to as specific as what can I do to help my arthritis and how were the pyramids of Egypt built. His responses to these questions came to be called readings, and their insights offer practical help and advice to individuals even today. Many people are surprised to learn that Edgar Casey was a devoted churchgoer and Sunday school teacher. At a young age, Casey vowed to read the Bible for every year of his life, and at the time of his death in 1945, he had accomplished this task. Perhaps the reading said it best when asked how to become psychic. Casey's advice was to become more spiritual. Tools for wellness, spiritual growth, and personal empowerment. Although Casey did die more than 60 years ago, the timelines of the material in his readings, with subjects like discovering your mission in life, developing your intuition, exploring ancient mysteries, and taking responsibility for your health, is evident by the hundreds of books that have been written on the various aspects of this work, as well as the dozen or so titles focused on Casey's life itself. Together, these books contain information so valuable that even Edgar Casey himself might have hesitated to predict their impact on the contemporary world. In 1945, the year of his passing, who could have known that terms such as meditation, spiritual growth, auras, soulmates, and holistic health would become household words. The majority of Edgar Cayce's readings deal with holistic health and the treatment of illness. As it was at the time Cayce was giving readings, still today, individuals from all walks of life and belief receive physical relief from illnesses or ailments through information given in the readings. Some readings were given as far back as 100 years ago. Yet, although best known for this material, the sleeping Cayce did not seem to be limited to concerns about the physical body. In fact, in their entirety, the readings discuss an astonishing 10,000 different topics. This vast array of subject matter can be narrowed down into a smaller group of topics that, when compiled together, deal with the following 5 categories: 1. Health related information. 2. Philosophy and reincarnation. 3. Dreams and dream interpretation. 4. ESP and psychic phenomenon. And 5. Spiritual growth, meditation, and prayer. Further details of Cayce's life and work are explored in the classic book There Is a River, which was in 1942 by Thomas Sagru, available in hardback, paperback, or audiobook versions. Members of Edgar Cayce's Association for Research and Enlightenment, ARE, the nonprofit founded by Cayce in 1931, have access to the entire set of 14,306 readings in a database residing online in our members only section. The readings can also be found in their entirety in our physical library located in the Visitor Center, second floor, at our headquarters campus in Virginia Beach, which is open to the public daily. So that's Edgar Cayce. What do you think about that?
Well, the parts that I heard, because for whatever reason, I feel intercepted and it's like a hack. So people are listening in on the line in a way that is not beneficial to you as well. You will not be able to know that they're here. So they disrupted a lot of what you said. But the fact that he has I just would like to put that out there on the for the record. But the fact that you were talking about his psychic abilities and being able to actually talk to people and communicate with all dimensions, it just sounds like I'm aware of similarities that parallel. So it's definitely intriguing because honestly, I've never heard of Cayce before you. I heard of, like I said, Crowley, and then I heard of Parsons. But as far as hearing of Cayce, this is new. And so when you're talking about them calling him the sleeping prophet and everything like that, it's wild because, yeah, I mean, like, I know one person to date right now that can do stuff like that. And that person is not hardly taken seriously enough. But I definitely think that it's cool that it's something that is documented as having been done. By someone who is well respected. So I mean, it just makes you more motivated, I guess, to engage in stuff like that. What do you believe in those abilities? Obviously, right? Because that's what
Well,
we're talking about. It.
well, see, like with Cayce was a strange one, and there's another guy from France who kind of is along the same lines of him that I did a piece on about 3 or 4 years ago, and what they have in common
It's
is
breaking
like
up again. I don't hear you at all. Like you're talking, all I heard was France and like then.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm gonna have to probably put it on my hotspot. The Wi-Fi in the house isn't working, but I have hotspot on my phone, so I'll
Okay.
probably just transfer to that. Cause
No, a lot of the stuff that Casey had when it comes to his physical, healing and stuff like that. When they went to actually find out if it was good, I mean, he was right on the nose about it, and he had gotten no education whatsoever in the medical field at all. Okay, and he would come up with remedies for helping with arthritis and stuff like that, which people were like, how did he know this? He had no training whatsoever. So in that aspect, you have to look at that is pretty interesting when it comes to all that. So I don't know if you heard all that or not, but yeah, I think she's bouncing in and out. You haven't
Now I'm
really.
here now, but you see how there's two of me? But I told you someone was intercepting. They have me hacked, so someone else is listening through my account, making it appear as though it's me. I have no reason to have two accounts here because I only am using one phone. This is nonsense. Like, I don't understand. Like, no one pays this phone bill, but everybody's sure enough utilizing the services. That's wild to me. Well, go
Yeah,
ahead. I apologize. My frustration is peaking.
but did you hear what I was saying about with
Not
Casey?
Nope, not at all. Wasn't allowed to. I heard French, and then after French, it was just here we are.
Now, what I was saying before was like with his health. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
Everything's perfect now. Again, like I said,
With his
as
health remedies and stuff like that. Like, first of all, he was never trained in any kind of medical field whatsoever. You know what I mean? And he would actually be able to properly tell people this is what you need to take care of arthritis, or this is what you need for this and that. And they found out that a lot of the stuff he was telling these people to do actually worked. You know what I mean? And these are medical professionals that were saying it. I think that's one thing that I thought was pretty interesting about it, because I did find out that was true, and these were coming from his meditations that he was doing. So that is interesting. Now he got off onto the whole thing about Atlantis and everything, So I don't know about all that. Like, those were prophetic dreams that he had, and I see it like this, even what was his name? We were talking about him the other day. He was the one that everybody always mentions. He did. Oh God, what was he did the quatrains. Not
well, Holly, I don't.
Nostradamus.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Nostradamus did thousands and thousands of prophetic, you know, uh, you know,
Visualizations. Yeah, I remember you were saying
he did
you
that, and
mentioned Thomas, and yeah.
like all the stuff out of all the stuff that he said was going to happen in the future, like a handful of that actually came true, So when I look at it in those aspects, I mean, Casey actually, percentage-wise, he did pretty good, other than the fact of the library that he said was underneath the Sphinx and stuff in
Wait, hold on. What
Atlantis.
do you mean they never were able to find it?
No, that was never. That there's, well, for one thing, they won't let people under,
There you
or
go.
I mean, it's like they're restricted from that and everything. So that would become an issue. There's people today that still say that those Sphinx have something underneath it. You know what I mean? And I find that part interesting too. And that all leads into Casey, who actually started talking about Atlantis, like this organization that the EdgarCasey.org, they still freaking send people out to do freaking like especially diving around Cuba and areas like that because they believe Cuba was close to where Atlantis and the Atlanteans actually existed. So
Really?
yeah, they really do believe that. They have scuba divers that go down and they have archaeological finds on I think it's the south shore of Cuba. I'm not positive, but I think it's on the south shore of Cuba, and they've been doing dives down there for years. So it's a pretty interesting setup there that's going on there, and they have tons of money.
It sounds like such, but I never knew that it was so close to as Cuba. Like I never knew that that was where we're saying that Atlantis was actually located at all. For whatever reason, I thought it was like on the other side of the world.
Well, there's different hypotheses on what and where Atlantis is. Like it's not just Casey. Casey was like what Robot said the other day. Okay, he believed that it was the Atlantean Empire. You know what I mean? Like it was an empire of people within the kingdom of Atlantis, and Atlantis was like an island that was located near America, and a lot of that I'm okay with, but like I've noticed like even when I like to watch Viper TV on YouTube, which has to do with a lot of the ancient astronaut stuff and the Anunnaki and everything, and a lot of the stuff that they get into starts out with the Sumerians, and then it goes into the Assyrians, and then it goes into the Egyptians, and eventually now they're talking about freaking South America. It always ends up somewhere in South America, you know, and it just seems like a popular trend, you know. So I try to stay away from all that stuff because I mean for one thing, I'm getting sick and tired of freaking people trying to link freaking the Sumerians with, you know, tribes in South America. It just.
Yeah, because that's like completely off base. But I mean, at least from what you're teaching me, I had no clue. So maybe that they have, but again, we talk about those correlations and the separations. Perhaps maybe they are some Samaritans that actually were travelers and resided in such, or at least established something in such.
Well, see, I mean, I do believe that there is a connection with Africa and South America because there's a mummy that was discovered, and I don't have the article up or anything, but a mummy that was discovered that when they took samples off of the tissues that
Yeah.
were around them, they found traces of cocaine.
Hmm.
Well, see, cocaine
Is indigenous to, yeah, South America.
yeah, and it's not indigenous to Egypt and
At
Africa
all.
whatsoever. So, in order for that to have happened, ships had to travel across there. And in the old sailing routes, when ships would sail, they always knew that it was better to go from Europe south to frickin' like the edge of Africa, the African continent, and then shoot across to make it up into the West Indies instead of going straight, you know, because those waterways are faster in that region because it comes down the shore and then it shoots back up the west or the east coast for our continent. So that's how they got around.
Hmm.
So I
That
could
would make sense then. I mean, but the finding of it would make you wonder about the usage, or at least. Mm-mm.
yeah, I mean, it's just I could see travel happening there and everything, but I mean, they could have. It seems just a little bit too trendy for a lot of people who believe in ancient astronauts in Atlantis to kind of like jump on the bandwagon and say, you know, that the Sumerians are directly connected to people who were in Peru. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
but it just that's the one thing I really do try to stay away from. Now, if there's compelling evidence, then fine, you know. But
You'd be more inclined to accept the theory, but in the meantime, it's just. I mean, for all we know, the people finding it could have just spilled some of their own stash. I mean, I highly doubt that. I know that, but I was just saying, like, there's
yeah,
really no solid proof. Whereas you have solid proof of them being present
yeah,
in Lebanon and yeah, in Turkey and stuff like that. Like that's different.
yeah. Now, after that, we were talking about Jack Parsons, and I'd like to read what I found on him. It's
Yeah, I would like for you to tell me more about what you know, just based off of what I've heard. So yeah.
now this is from the Linda Hall Library, and it's a scientist of the day, Jack Parsons. It was made on October the 2nd, 2020. It's just a small article, and it goes scientist of the day, Jack Parsons, and Jack Whiteside Parsons, an American rocketeer, was born October the 2nd, 1914, on October the 31st, 1936. Parsons teamed up with Frank Molina, a Caltech graduate student, and 3 others to successfully ignite a small solid fuel rocket in an isolated area of Pasadena known as Arroyo Seco, or Arroyo Seco. Molina was a graduate student of Caltech, but Parsons had only a high school education. Still, his passion for rockets had convinced Theodore von Karman to put him in touch with his student Molina. It turned out that Parsons was a rocket genius. He helped invent not only the solid fuel rocket, but he was also a pioneer developer of JATO technology, which used baby rockets hung under a plane's wing to provide jet-assisted takeoffs. Parsons went on to co-found Jet Propulsion Laboratories, JPL, the government-funded agency at Caltech that has run most of our space programs. Indeed, in much of their promotional literature, modern-day JPL traces its origins to that Halloween Day rocket firing in 1936. Parsons also co-founded Aerojet Corporation, which initially made JATO rockets and then moved into space rockets. All this sounds quite impressive, so why have we heard so much about Werner von Braun and Robert Goddard as so little about Parsons? Mainly because, in addition to being brilliant, Parsons was a genuine occultist wacko. Parsons became a follower of the wickedest man in the world, Aleister Crowley, and his magical order, the Ordo Templi Orientis, or Order of the Temple of the East, or OTO. In 1942, when his rocket career was peaking, Parsons became the leader of the Pasadena Lodge of the OTO. Parsons supposedly would recite odes to Pan when launching rockets, which brings to my mind anyway, William Blake's engraving of the fertilization of Egypt. Parsons was let go from JPL and Aerojet in 1944 because of his OTO activities. He took his wife's sister for his mistress. His wife then left him for none other than L. Ron Hubbard, a lodge member who would soon found the Church of Scientology. Fritz Zwicky, an astronomer at Caltech and the discoverer of the neutron stars, would have nothing to do with Parsons, whom he regarded as just a crazy but not just crazy but dangerous. And in a sense, Parsons was dangerous since he blew himself up in his home laboratory in 1952 at the age of 37, apparently unintentionally. Because of his stranger-than-fiction lifestyle, Parsons has been the subject of numerous books and plays, one of the latest being Jet Propulsion, a four-actor play by Peter Bakley that was performed here at the Kansas City Fringe Festival in the summer of 2011. Surprisingly, no feature film has ever been made based on Parsons' life. Someone should do this. They could call it The Wrong Stuff. There is a short 3-minute CBS video that has few factual errors, but is worth watching because of the many good photos of Parson and his cohorts. And this Dr. William B. Ashworth, Junior Consultant of the History of Space, Linda Hall Library, and Associate Professor, Emeritus, Department of History, University of Missouri, Kansas City. Comments or corrections are welcome. And that's the end of that one. But that's his professional career. And like, this actually was a pretty harsh review of him, other than the fact, that yeah, he was associated with Aleister Crowley and stuff, but JPL too. Okay, he was the founder of JPL, and JPL and conspiracy theorists corners have really deep contacts with the dark government or the secret government, So that's one thing that really sticks out to me. Like, a lot of people who are into UFOs and believe in UFOs, they aren't really too friendly when it comes to JPL. They're a little piece of the cog there. And Jack Parsons was the one who led the brigade back then. He's the one who started it all. That's the reason why I wanted to make him a part of today's stream too, because not too many people really ever talk about Jack Parsons. And if you notice, they also mention the founder of Scientology as well. I've heard that he was actually part of an occult too. So his wife ended up leaving him for L. Ron Hubbard, and I've actually heard L. Ron Hubbard was a part of an occult before he founded the Church of Scientology too. So that is really good stuff that you could dive into if you want to find out more about that, because it's I don't know how else to really put that other than that's some pretty good stuff, you know. Um, Man, I'm just getting a black screen, ain't I? Yeah. I'm gonna have to switch that. I'm gonna switch it back to my general minds on that, so we can. Yeah, they put a stop to my screen sharing, didn't they? Yeah. So I am going to go ahead and continue. I've got Jack Parsons covered on that. We've gone to 35 minutes. And yeah, she says it says you left, Roger Hansen. Tell her no, I am still here. You are gone. Yeah, and Moose says he's wishing you beautiful folks a great day. I haven't been active on Minds today, been on the move, but I will try to get around the show. Some love to all your pages shortly. Yeah, Karma has lost contact with us. And like I told you before, Pecos Dave was talking about the issue that happened in the desert when it comes to Burning Man. Yeah, that's what it was. So let me see here. I can pull up what I have on Burning Man. So we got Edgar Casey, Jack Pearson, and now we can go on to the topic. Now, I have no problem with Burning Man. Like I told Pecos Dave, you know, most of the people that I've met on the internet concerning Burning Man were basically, you know, people who wanted to live off the grid, you know, off the grid hippies who like to sell, you know, tie-dye shirts and stuff and artwork and things that they made by hand. I mean, that's pretty much what I've always found when it came to people concerning Burning Man. So I'm not saying that any of this is true. I'm just saying this is what they're saying now. They are, if I can find it, I've got like tons and tons of stuff on here. Yeah. Oh my. What time is it? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, well, anyhow, they ended up trying to say that it was a mass sacrifice to Satan. Burning Man satanic conspiracy claims erupts as alleged video of hellish fires go viral. As Burning Man attendees continue to navigate the unexpected muddy terrain, speculations of the festival being satanic in nature has gone viral on X, formerly known as Twitter. Many conspiracy theories believe that the event's supposed hellish history led to the affair going haywire. Meanwhile, false videos of the Nevada desert being on fire have gone viral. Ex-user Sprinter 99800 took the social networking site and attaching a video of barren land catching fire with what seemed to be a tornado also wreaking havoc. Some people were seen running away in disarray while others watched on. The netizen wrote on, in the tweet, "Fire tornado at the Burning Man Festival in the USA." At the time of writing this article, the tweet had amassed nearly 5 million views. One might assume that the video, which has gone viral, is something which happened recently since the tweet was uploaded on 2nd September. However, there were no fire tornadoes in the desert recently. X's community notes clarify that the video was actually taken in 2002 during the Burning Man Festival itself. Meanwhile, other tweets of netizen claiming that the event is satanic in nature have gone viral. Ex-user Taylor Marshall claimed Burning Man is satanic. Burning Man is satanic. Claims of Burning Man being satanic take social media by storm. Ex-user TPV John boldly announces that God Almighty is over Burning Man. They also added in their tweet that paganism and satanic worship would only be tolerated for a brief moment. They also attached a video that showed the current predicament at the Nevada Desert Festival. The clip showed people walking in their night robes wearing trash bags for shoes, people partying in the midst of chaos, and also muddy water which people slowly walk through. Ex-user Heather Winalda tweeted, "Burning Man is a pagan ritual. Nothing satanic in that idolatry. Drugs, hedonism, behavior, yeah, it's all normal, right? Thou shalt have no God before me." Ex-user Stacy Rose 756774826 also took to the platform to announce that the Burning Man Festival is similar to the Celtic Wicker Man ritual, where Berber inhabitants were burned alive during satanic rituals. They went on to add that the Black Rock Desert Festival attendees were conjuring negative spirits from the past. The Burning Man Festival is a copy of the Celtic Wicker Man ritual from the 16th century, when the Moors did not. White people were being burned alive during satanic rituals. Netizen at CBK News 121 also uploaded a video of Chris Rock and Diplo escaping the Burning Man havoc. Oh, let's just bring Chris Rock up in here. They claim that the festival would be a mass sacrifice to Satan. They also added, "All those young kids fell into the trap. Look like Ebola maybe. But suddenly, with a gain of function, FEMA appears to be locking it down, fencing the people in. They go into high gear. Sad. Platform user Nick Mondu uploaded a lengthy tweet which called the festival the Devil's Playground. They went on to explain how awful the situation at the desert currently was. They said that the porta potties were unusable following the heavy rainfall, which led to people defecating and peeing in unhealthy conditions. People were told to save their water and food to avoid dehydration and starvation. Concerning levels of carbon monoxide were let out into the air, with excessive drug usage also taking place. They also added, "This event is well documented as a hedonistic orgy-fueled bohemian rave for the elite. Pray for these wandering souls." It just sounds like a really fucking crazy version of Woodstock. I mean, at Woodstock, you had all the same elements. You had the drugs, you had I'm talking about the 93 Woodstock too, by the way. But you had the mud, you had the drugs, you had the carbon monoxide. The only thing they didn't have was rock stars. Well, they might have had. Chris Rock was there. He probably got up on stage and did something to entertain them, so. Okay. So, now we come to the satanic claims go viral as news of a person passing away at the festival make headlines. The Las Vegas Fire Department confirmed on Friday that an unidentified person was found unresponsive. They announced that the cause of the death could be drowning. The Pershing County Sheriff's Office stated that their family was notified over the tragedy. Alright. Yeah. I didn't really even want to get into all that because it's like I knew it was a lot of religious banter. There's been protests over over frickin' the Burning Man, and I don't want to even go there. I know that it's just really some crazy stuff. I personally don't have an issue with Burning Man. I think that it's people who actually have a freaking good time, you know. And it was just a misfortune that somebody had to die. And I just personally don't I don't believe in all that. I don't think that it's true, you know. I do talk to some people on the internet, or I did a while back. I haven't really gotten on my YouTube channel very much, so I do talk to them whenever I'm on there who are involved in Burning Man. I used to have them on Facebook back when I was doing Facebook, but I gave up my accounts there. And you know, these people, they're nice people. I've never met anybody who goes to Burning Man who was like all evil and demonic and stuff like that. So that just seems a little too far-fetched for me. And I am getting a lot of notifications, man, which means people are freaking going crazy. And I know I knew today when I got into chat, and Pecos Dave brought it up, I knew that there was going to be there was going to be some stuff starting from this, because like I seen it on the news the other day, and it's really crazy. I honestly, I think that it's strange. It's more strange about people having that mentality to where they want to say that frickin', something that's the equivalent of pagan Woodstock is, the devil's playground. And, like, Christians have always been against pagans, and pagans have always, well, they aren't today as much, but like back in the beginning of Christianity, they really were against the Christians, but not really today. I mean, it's just really sad that happened, and I really hope that they get this straightened out. Yesterday I seen a news broadcast that said they're actually having to pull trucks out of the mud and stuff and everything like that, and it's slowed down to where it's going to take days, maybe even a week or two to get them all out of that area because of the rain. I made a comment in the chat earlier where, I said, honestly, it makes sense to me that, all of that would have happened, because, they're sitting there, they know a storm is coming. It's kind of, not, it's a no-brainer, you know what I mean? You might not have expected it to be at that level, you know what I mean? But that's still really messed up. So I wanted to finish this off with those topics, and I figured I would do a short little bit on Burning Man. I just don't take that serious. I don't really like getting involved in all of that when it comes to people being like that. And I could see that coming, but I hope that you guys enjoyed the show today, and I am going to go ahead and end the stream, and wish you guys a good week, and that's it.